Folks, we'd like to welcome you to the Candidate Forum. This is sponsored by the Smith County Insider and the Smith County Chamber of Commerce. And we have an active election going on today, and there are some topics that people feel very, they feel very passionate about, and they want to get out and say what they need to say. So we're going to let these guys come up and just kind of tell you their names and what they think about this election and what they plan to do. So our first guest is going to be, it's State House District 40, is Mr. Daniel Hawthorne. He is running as a Democrat. Mr. Hawthorne, if you would come up here. And just, I guess you've got about as long as you want. But
closes at midnight, right?
Yeah, it closes at midnight. so you know, if you got a long speech, we may have to close the place up for you. Anyway, we have one of these CNN made up microphones here. So just to kind of be gentle with it and introduce yourself and tell them what you're running for.
Can you hear me? All right, that's coming through loud and clear. I'm Daniel Hawthorne. I'm running for State House District 40 against the esteemed Michael Hale, who served us for the past 2 years. I appreciate your service, sir. I met him in 2022 right here at this fair at his booth and talked to him. He was absolutely the best Republican running for that job. I'll hands down give it to him. He's a good man. I liked a lot of what he said, and I like a lot of what he's done since he's been in office. A few things I have issues with on some of his votes, though. Me, I'm here from Smith County. Born here, graduated high school here, went to school up at Tech. I'm a teacher. I serve the public. I do what I can to help the next generation. I'm a history teacher, but I promise I won't go long tonight. One of the things that I have most issue with is Mr. Hale voted to arm our teachers. I am a teacher. No school district in the state wanted this. No one has accepted it. It was unnecessary. We do need protection in our schools. We need trained police officers. We need more SROs, not teachers doing a job we're not trained for, ill-prepared for. That's a problem. Another one, I did not like voting to give the corporations $1.5 billion franchise tax cuts and a $400 million rebate. Almost $2 billion of state taxes back to corporations. That's a problem. While at the same time voting to up registration on normal people for electric and hybrid vehicles. When you register your vehicle this year, you're gonna have to pay an extra $100 if you drive a hybrid or an electric. Just to save gas, getting back and forth to work, you gotta pay a penalty now? That's a problem. That needs to be fixed. Undo the tax cuts on the corporations and quit charging people for their vehicles unnecessarily. Take money from where it's available. Don't gouge everybody. Corporations have enough in this state. We're a really, really corporation-friendly state. We need to be a people-friendly state to our citizens. Help us out, where some of us are very much hurting. Our small farmers have been hurting for 20, 25 years since Big Tobacco went out. We need to help these people in these communities. Our teachers need help. Our schools need help. On that note, I am voting against all charter schools, all school voucher programs. They fail. If charter schools worked, I'd quit my job and go work at one. They don't. The problem with them is schools for profit don't work for the public. And by the way, in case nobody knows, charter schools, private schools are not required to provide buses. So the only people that can take advantage of these programs are those that can afford to take their kids and drop them off. I work for a living. Most people do. Most parents, both are working. Who's going to drop that kid off and pick that kid up? Public schools is the great equalizer. It's the one thing that gives everybody an equal opportunity. But in the last 20 years, as a teacher and as a parent, I've seen a problem. We push kids to college. We don't need just doctors and lawyers and nurses. We need carpenters, we need welders, we need electricians. We need to send more money to our technical programs at our high schools.
We need trades. We need these people. We have a housing crisis. Why? Because we don't got enough construction workers. We don't got enough electricians. We don't have enough of any of these things because for 20 years we've been pushing college, college, college. It's great if you want to go. I did, loved it. I have friends, never went to college at all, technical trade, they make a lot more money than I do, and they're just as happy. We need to institute these things. We need to bring them back. That's why I say no to this. Help our public schools. We don't need an alternate system. We need to fix the one that's broken. Last and least, I'm running this on my own, running for State House. So far this year, I've had about $1,000 in contributions to my campaign. And I checked, and I believe Mr. Hale has had quite a bit more in contributions, somewhere upwards of $100,000 this year, if I read the filings correctly, from different entities, hospitals, banks, lawyers. It's good to have those kind of entities behind you, but where I'm different is I work hard. I put everything of myself into everything I do. I was taught to do that by my grandfather. He put me in the field bush hogging when I was 13 years old for the family business. At that time, minimum wage was $5.15 an hour. You know what my grandfather paid me? $5 an hour. He said I wasn't worth minimum wage yet. He was right, but I got better. I worked. That summer, I bought a four-wheeler. The next summer, I worked again. I bought an antique tractor for tractor pulls. When I was 15, sold them, worked again, worked for his business. I bought my own truck. $15,500 cash at 15 years old at $5 an hour. Now, you know I worked a lot of hours in the field to do that. I know what it is to work. If you elect me, that's the work I bring to that office. I will work for you. I don't have anybody donating to my campaign, no special interests. I'm only here for you guys. Thank you. Have a good night, and God bless. Go watch some fireworks somewhere.
Thank you, Daniel. We appreciate that. And now we're going to, I'm going to work on this mic just a little bit, and then we're going to invite there we go. We're going to invite our incumbent state representative, Mr. Michael Hale. He is running as a Republican. Michael, if you would. And I guess the same rules apply. We didn't put a time limit on anybody yet.
Thank you, Bill Woodard.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you, buddy. What an honor it is to be in Smith County tonight. Thank you so much to the Smith County Fair, to the Smith County Insider for putting on this forum, and I was honored to be here 2 years ago and running for this seat, and thankfully I was honored to be elected in 2022 to serve as your state representative, and what an honor it's been. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am Michael Hale. Live in DeKalb County. My wife Tara and I of almost 28 years. We live on the south side of Smithville. We have a farm. We own a funeral home. And so when Mr. Hawthorne was talking about farming and helping his grandfather, we've had tobacco farm. We've hay. I remember as a young boy, I wasn't even big enough to throw a bale up by myself, and there would be two of us get on each side, and we would sling it up, and I got paid, I think it was 3 cents a bale at that time. So I made big money back then. So Tara wasn't able to be with us tonight. We've got her family at the house and enjoying independence. Thank God for the freedom that we have, that the freedom that you have, and here in just a couple of weeks, the freedom to go out and to be able to vote. And so I want to lay some groundwork of some things that I have done and accomplished. Let me say this: Smith County is not just a place on the map. Smith County is a place that's special to me. I had a great grandmother that lived in Brush Creek. I had a lot of family from the Lancaster community, the Mosses and stuff. So, and then I spent a lot of my Saturdays coming to the Smith County Commission Company, Mr. Billy Gregory and Miss Grace and their family, and and still spend a lot of Saturdays bringing cattle over here to the sale. So Smith County is a place that means something to me, and it's not just a place on the map, but I'm honored to be able to serve. In the last 2 years, I've got a map over my desk that hangs on the wall, and it's a map of the 40th district. And I look at that map and I think of the 70,000 people that calls this district home. The 70,000 people that have children here, the 70,000 people that have businesses here, the 70,000 people that make up that calls this home, and that I'm able to be the voice out of the 70,000 people chosen to be the voice of the 40th district. They say you can look at a person's checkbook and be able to tell where their heart is. With that being said, for the last 2 years, in the General Assembly, we have put $447.6 million in pre-K through 12 education. We've put $1 billion. Last year, we voted and put $1 billion in the TCAP program in Tennessee. Last year, my opponent mentioned about the electric vehicles and the hybrid vehicles. We passed a $3.3 billion Transportation Modernization Act, and in passing that Transportation Modernization Act, we felt that it was only right that our electric vehicles that are using the same roads that we use in our gas or our diesel vehicles, that they pay apportionately just like we do. So that was the reason that was added in there, not to hurt anybody, but to make it fair as we could across the board. Last year, I had a bill that was going to give senior citizens a 3 months tax break on groceries, but thankfully we were able to pass a 3-month sales tax for everybody in the state of Tennessee. Last year, one of the biggest bills that I've carried since I've been there, when you talk about schools and you talk about school safety, I want to hit on this for just a minute. Last year, I carried a SRO bill. Senator Reeves carried it in the Senate, and we were both told in January that we wouldn't get off first base. It'd kind of be like playing T-ball, that we would just hit the ball and probably wouldn't even get to first base with it. That's a bill that fully got funded, and in Smith County alone, it saved the taxpayers $675,000 that we fully fund at $75,000 SRO officers in every school in the state of Tennessee. Not only that, in talking about the bill of arming teachers, the state legislature did not arm teachers. We gave that authority back to local governments for the local people to be able to decide if they want to do that or not. It leaves it to the sheriff, it leaves it to the director of schools, and it leaves it to the local law enforcement to make that decision. So the state is not forcing that. The state leaves that to the decision of the school and the local officials. So we have given in the last 2 years some of the largest tax cuts in the state's history. Last year we helped small businesses, and we cut a lot of taxes and raised some minimums and stuff, and helped small businesses. So for Tennessee Republicans, it's been health care, education, and infrastructure. We've done a lot for mental health, and there's a whole lot to be done to help fix the mental health issue that we have here in the state of Tennessee. Let me mention some things that I think that matters to every one of you, but it also matters to me. That's our children, that's our families, that's education, that's mental health, that's farming, that's local government, that's safer communities, that's Second Amendment rights, that's health care, that's law enforcement, that's lower taxes, that's small businesses, just to name a few. And folks, if you allow me to continue to serve, I'll continue to fight for every one of those things. I understand farmers because I am one. I understand small businesses because I own one. I understand the biblical meaning of marriage because I've preached it. I understand that what God has made to be a man or to be a woman, God made it. God didn't make a mistake, and I'll still stand behind that as long as there's a breath in Michael Hale. So I understand the issues of families because, folks, this is my home. This is where I've raised my children. This is where they've went to public schools. This is where I went to public school. Public schools did me well, and I can look across the crowd to here, and I know a lot of people in the community and people across this district that public schools have done you well. But I also understand that parents want a choice. Parents have asked for a choice. We did a survey, and the survey came back at almost 60% of the people in the 40th district support parental choice when it comes to education. There's a way that we can offer them a choice, but we will never, and Michael Hale will never sacrifice our public school system to compromise for anything else. I've got family that work in public schools. I've got a daughter. I've got a brother-in-law. I can go on and on of family members that work in the public school system. So folks, I humbly ask for your continued support, for your vote in the state Republican primary on August the 4th or August the 1st, or during early voting, which starts on the 12th through the 27th, and then also in the November general election, to continue representing our core values, our conservative Tennessee values. So folks, tonight I want to say thank you. One of the greatest honors that I've ever been given is to be able to serve the 40th district. I don't take it lightly, and I'm thankful. I'm humbled and I'm honored, and I ask for your vote and I ask for your support in the August state primary and also in the November general election. Thank you. May God bless each of you. May God bless Tennessee, and may God bless the greatest country, the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. And now we have a young lady. She is running for the school board position in District 2, which is Tanglewood. And we're going to ask her if she would to come up. Her name is Sarah Hawthorne, and she is running undeclared. Or I didn't have it on here. Okay. So anyway, Miss Sarah Hawthorne. Sarah, speak your mind.
Hello, my name is Sarah Hawthorne. I'm here tonight bringing my kids to the fair, celebrating my sister's birthday. It's muggy, it's hot, so please pardon how I'm dressed. This is kind of who I am. I am a teacher in Metro Nashville Public Schools. I have been teaching for 10 years. I'm also a parent of 4 daughters, each of whom have attended Smith County Schools at some point in time. I decided to run for school board because I had a very big problem with things that I saw going on, both on a personal level as a parent and a professional level as a teacher. Bullying, especially cyberbullying, which we didn't have back when we were in school. We got off the bus, we went home, and we got a break from it. Today's students do not have that break. It follows them with social media. It's a big issue for a lot of students in Smith County schools. And it seems that Smith County Schools, the school board, the superintendent, aren't doing enough to address this for our students. No parent wants to come home and see their child go through that pain that you can't exactly fix. It's not a physical pain, it's an emotional pain. These issues I've experienced with my own children, and not enough was done, if anything. With families moving from other states and cities to here, they tend to be a little bit more Sioux happy than us. We have those values, we roll with it, But these people coming in, they tend to be a little bit more Sue happy. Our school system has faced multiple lawsuits in recent years. One amongst the school board and superintendent suing the county commissioners. One lost case could mean an increase in our taxes. And we need to be prepared and handle these issues before it ever gets to that. So far, our school board and our superintendent have been lucky, but luck only carries you so far. We need to fix these issues before our county runs out of luck. I believe that Smith County school system is one of the best in the state. And in order to keep that a reality, we need to keep our teachers. A lot of the teachers in Smith County School, they either grew up here or they're married to someone that grew up here. These are the teachers that stay. I went to a commissioners meeting at one point, and the topic was the teachers getting their raises. The teachers did get a raise, but so did Superintendent Barry Smith. Our teachers needed the raises, and my main issue with that was a state mandated raise. And yeah, they got it. It wasn't for the superintendent or the board to decide that they got this raise. It was state mandated. And part of that state mandate, no part of it consisted of Barry Smith getting a raise as well. I feel the school board should be in charge of the budget, but with that being said, I feel there should be full transparency. Where our taxpayer money goes to fund the schools, we need to know. It needs to be out there. We need to be knowledgeable in where our money goes, because as parents, we need to feel confident about where we send our kids to school, that it is the best, that they are getting the best, and not have to pay for legal fees from, in my opinion, petty lawsuits. We need a board who will do what's right for our children and not just join Barry Smith's bandwagon. As a teacher and a parent, I am for whatever is best for the children, for our students, for our future. This of being a parent and a teacher, it affords me the outlook of being able to understand the school system, what normally goes on, what needs to be done for these students. And as a parent, it also allows me to see this is what I want that would be best for my child. Being both a teacher and a parent affords me a different perspective running for school board than the other candidates that are running. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Sarah. We want to be completely fair about this. Is there anyone else here that is running for an office and you didn't get a chance to sign up and you would like to speak? We don't want to miss anybody. If not, I'd just like to say one thing. Voting is a right that a dear price was paid so we could secure it. So make sure you get yourself informed about what the issues are, who the candidates are, and go out and exercise your right to vote in this election. I'd like to thank the Smith County Insider, jointly sponsoring this with the Smith County Chamber of Commerce, and we hope to see you again next election cycle. So may God bless you, and good night.